Let's continue with our project. In our previous session, we have started with the JavaScript and we have done basic thing in JavaScript, that is accessing particular input fields, accessing buttons and everything. And we have created one function, find meal. Inside this, we have checked if the value is entered or not. If the value is not entered, we are going to tell, please enter the item. If the value is entered, we have just displayed the alert, data is present. Now inside this if, we are going to fetch the data from the API and we are going to display in a browser. So in this session, we are going to see four things. That is, first, we are going to display this heading. Let me search here. This one, for whichever keyword I have searched, for that I'm just going to display this one. First thing. Second, I will click on search. If any item is not present, then I have to display this message. Third, we are going to fetch the data from the API using that keyword which I have written here. And finally, if you have noticed here, I will write pizza. I am having pizza here. As soon as I click on search, the input field is cleared. So basically we are going to do four things. Now here if I just write here pizza, I will click on search. Let me click on OK. The data is still present inside the input field. So in this session, we are going to do these four things: clearing input field, fetching the data from the API, displaying the result data, as well as displaying the message if the meal is not found. I will remove this, and also I'm just going to remove this alert. I do not need this one. Below this, we will be writing fetch. Inside this fetch, we are going to pass our API link, double quotes, semicolon. I will be using this meals API. I will click on this first link, and here we are having multiple links. For searching the meal by name, we need this one. I'm just going to copy this URL link. If you want to find by first letter, you can give this. If you want to find by ID, if you want to find random data using specific keyword, you can get that result. As of now, we are searching the data by name. So I'm going to copy the first link and here I'm just going to paste. If you see here, by default, they have given this meal name. So what we will do, we will remove this. In place of this, we are just going to give the item which we have entered inside our input field. So whatever keyword we have given, that we are going to give here, and accordingly API will be fetching that data based on that name. We are passing variable, so we have to use template literal. I will remove double quotes, template literal, dollar, and inside this I'm going to pass my item. So suppose if I just write here pizza, here pizza will be given. If I write chicken, chicken will be given. If I write here burger, burger will be given. So accordingly, based on that, I will be getting the result. Now here, let me just add this HTTPS. Now what this fetch will be doing, it is going to return the promise. And for promise, we will be using then method. I will write here then. And inside this, I will be passing one parameter, that is response, RES for short. And I'm just going to write console. Let me just write a response. Save this. I will write data here, pizza. Click on search, open inspect, console. I have done the mistake. It's console.log. Save this. I will close, and here I'm just going to write pizza. Search, open this. Now you can see I have got the response. When I open this one, I'm having this headers and also I am having the URL. Whatever URL I have given, that URL is displayed. So using this then method, we are able to get the response successfully. I will remove this console. I will just copy this link. I will paste search is equal to chicken. enter. Now you can see this is my API data for chicken. So using this name, using chicken name, we have accessed this one entire API data. Now if you closely notice here, this is array of objects, and inside this, for key also I am having double quotes, for values also I am having double quotes. So basically this data is in JSON format. So what we have to do, we have to convert in JavaScript object. So for that, we are just going to write here response. Whatever response we got, we are just going to convert into object. So we have to write here JSON method. So once we write this, whatever data we got, that will be converted into object. Let me just write here console.log, and inside this I'm just going to wrap here, save this. I will come to my project. I will write here pizza. Click on search, open inspect. You can see what it has returned. It has returned me the promise and it is still pending, which means it has not fetched the data yet. My promise state is fulfilled, and inside this I am having this object. And if you open this meals, you can see I am successfully able to get that array, and here it is converted into object. Only my values are enclosed in single quotes. You can see my keys are not enclosed in single quotes. Only the values are enclosed in single quotes or maybe double quotes. Only these values are enclosed in double quotes. Finally, our promise state is fulfilled and we are able to fetch the data, and we have converted that data into JavaScript object. I will remove this. Now what it has returned? It has returned the promise. So again, what it is going to return? It has returned me the promise. I do not want this entire thing, this entire promise should be displayed. I just need this meals data. So what we can do? Again, we can pass here then method. And here I'll just bring it here. Dot then. And inside this, I'm just going to pass the data. This data is nothing but our entire API data is equal to, I'm just going to write here console.log. Inside this, I will pass data. I will save this. I'm going to write here pizza. Search. Open console. You can see finally I got this array. Now when I open this one meals object, that is meals array, inside this I am having array of object. I am having all this data. Using this then method, I am successfully able to fetch all the API data which is converted into object. So basically we have done 3 steps. First we have fetched the data, then we have converted that data into object, and finally we are returning that result. Now first what we have to do, as soon as I get the result, I have to display the heading, that is search result is found. I will write my variable result heading. For this we have already accessed that one paragraph dot inner HTML is equal to, I will be using template literals because we are going to pass the item name. I will write here search result for dollar, and inside this I just have to pass here item. Okay, whatever data we have entered inside the input field, we are just passing that. Now here if I just write here pizza, click on search, I got this message, that is search result for pizza. Once I am successfully able to get that keyword, I am just displaying this search result. Now here, if I just remove this, if I type some random thing, now when I click on search, again I am going to get the same thing, search result for this. But this kind of meal will not be present in the API. So that also we are going to see. If the meal is not present, we should be displaying another message. If the meal is present, along with this text message, we want to display all the data related to that keyword. So I hope you understood this one. If you're not getting this, watch 2 to 3 times and type the code by yourself. Unless and until you don't type the code, you will not learn JavaScript or any other programming language. You have to start typing, you have to understand, and you have to debug. But I have just used simple fetch method, which will be returning the promise. API JSON data we have converted into object, and finally we are displaying the result. Now below this, we are going to write if condition. If my meal is present, we have to display the data. If my meal is not present, I should be displaying the message meal is not found. I will write here if. Inside this, I will be writing my data dot meals. I will tell you what this meals is. If this is equal to triple equal to null, which means the result is not found. Inside this, I'm just going to write result heading, same place, copy, paste it here. Instead, I'm just going to write, oops, no result for meal, that is meal name. Else, alert, there is meal name. Save this. Now what I have done here, if my data dot meals, my data is nothing but this one, okay, which is holding our entire data. Now meals is nothing but when I just open this one, let me just console this data, save this. I will just search for pizza, search, there is a meal name we have already entered. So here I'm in else part because inside this API we are having this pizza word, and also I'm getting this search result. Now when I open console, here you can see my array name is meals. So data dot meals, we are just checking if this is equal to null, which means if this has not found any keyword, that means the data is not present. So we are just displaying this. If this data dot meals, if it is not null, then some data is present inside this console, and that data we are displaying in our browser. This means whatever I have written, this is related to this array name. If I don't give this one, save this, I will come here, I will write here pizza, search, there is a meal name, okay, search result for pizza. Now here, again I am going to get the same result. You can see, again I have got the same result. And why we are giving this data dot meals? Because whenever we are using map method, it will be easy for us to debug what we have used. Let me just pass here meals. Save this. If this is null, then we are going to display this. If this is not null, then we are going to display the data. For pizza, we had only one data. Now if I just write here chicken, search, there is a meal name, okay, inspect, console, object, it has created object, and here I am having 25 result. You can see total I am having 25 result. So for every element I have to loop. So what we will do, we are going to use map method. It is going to loop for every element, and accordingly it is going to display the result. I will comment this alert, and below this is my meals element, this is my meals. I will come here, we are just accessing this one, okay, we are accessing this diff container. I will come here, I will be writing meals element, that is our diff container for individual data dot inner html. Inside that, whatever content I am going to write here, inside the diff container I want to display it, is equal to data dot our array name dot map method. It is going to loop for every element, and inside this I'm going to pass the parameter as meal. What I will explain you, I will open this, First time, it is just going to take for this ID. Second time, it is going to take for another ID. Third time, another ID. Fourth time, another ID. It is going to loop for all the IDs. And accordingly, it is going to do the changes. First time, it will be the first one. Second time, it will be the second one. Third time, it will be the third one. Now here, I will be using template literals. And inside this, as of now, let me just open this inspect. Search. There is a meal name. Okay, I have not saved this. Save. I will write here pizza. Search. Open console. Object. Now inside this, if you see here, I will open this. I am having all these keys. All these keys, whatever we are having, using these keys only, we will be able to get the data. So as of now, let me just access this one. To access that, what we will do, let me just create one simple paragraph. And inside this, I will write here double quotes. We have to write our meal, that is our parameter, meal dot str area. This one, whatever key we are having, we are just passing that. And we have to pass this parameter because for every loop it is going to repeat. So whatever first value it will be having, accordingly it is going to fetch the data. Again for second time, it will be holding the second ID. Second ID data will be displayed. And it keeps on going. I will save. I am going to write here pizza. Search. Now you can see I got this Italian here. Whatever data I am having inside the console, let me open. You can see here for string area, I am having this Italian. So I am successfully able to fetch the API data. Previously, I showed you when data is null, then also we were getting the result. If we remove the meals from here, then also we were getting the result. But now what happens if I remove the meals from here? I will save this. I will just write here pizza. Search. I will open console. Now I will be getting this error uncaught in promise, that is type error. Data.map is not a function. This is my console. For this data, it is getting displayed. But here I got this error. So what we have to do? We have to pass this array. Data is holding our entire API, and in that we are just giving our meals array. This one meals array we are passing so that we can loop through every element using this map method. So do not forget to pass here meals array name. Save this. Do not forget to pass this meals, that is our array name. Okay, now using this, we are successfully able to fetch the data. Now what we will do, we are going to display the container for individual images. I will remove this. Inside this, I am going to create div, close div. Again, I am just going to open and close. Now inside this div, we are just going to display the image name, and also whenever we hover on this, we will be getting the stylings. So for that, we are just going to give the content. Let me just write here class. Class is equal to meal. As I mentioned in previous session, we have already given the stylings. Let me just come here. You can see for meal, we have already given the stylings. For meal image, meal info, for everything, I have already given the stylings and I have pasted in comment section. So if you want, you can copy the stylings or else you can give your own stylings. This div container I have fetched. Inside that div container, I am displaying the images. Now here, I will be writing image tag, src. I will just write here dollar. And inside this, what we should write? Let me open this console. Before that, let me just close this. Let me remove this line as of now. Let me remove this. Save this one. Pizza. Search. Open console. I will open this. Now here for image, I will just scroll down. This is my image link. Okay, for this we are having this key. Copy. Now I am just going to write the image tag. Image src is equal to, inside this double quotes, we will be writing this dollar. We have to pass our meal dot this value, and inside this alt attribute, I'm just going to give the name. I will write here dollar, and let us just write this. And inside this, let me just write this one. Copy this string meal dot this key. Okay, these keys they have already given in their APIs, so we cannot change the keys. So whatever keys they have given inside the API, we have to follow the same thing. I'm going to close the image tag. I will save this. Let me show you the result if we are getting or not. Pizza, search. Now you can see we are successfully able to fetch the image. Below this image, I'm going to create one div container. Let me come to index.html. Here I will be writing class is equal to meal info, and also we are going to access the ID. So we will be writing this attribute data hyphen meal ID. Inside this, let me just write dollar JavaScript mode meal dot. I will open this. Now we are just going to access this ID meal. Copy, and here I'm going to paste. Finally, we're just going to write one h3, and inside this we're just going to display the name meal dot string meal. I will copy, and here I'm going to paste. Now this entire thing, let me just copy this entire div container, cut it from here, and inside this JavaScript paste it here. Now save this, close, and here I'm just going to write pizza. Search for this. Now we are getting pizza, and also we are able to get the name. But if you see here, the name is displayed below. But in my project, whenever I hover here, I will be getting the name. I will come. Now if you see here, I have given one single quote. I will remove. Again, I'm going to search for pizza. Search. Now whenever I hover on this, I will be getting this result. So this is the part of HTML. We are just integrating inside JavaScript. And these are the classes for which we have already given stylings. Now here, let me just write here chicken. Search. Now you can see we are able to fetch the data. But if you see here every data is separated by comma, and I am not getting the result in this format. Now if I just write a chicken, let me just write proper spelling. Search this, and from API we are able to fetch this entire data, and the data is displayed in proper format. But here if you notice here, every data is separated by comma. So now what I will do, after this, I'm just going to join this entire thing. I will write here join method, and I'm just going to give the separator as double quotes. I will save. Now I'm just going to write here chicken. Search. Now I will be getting the result in proper format. Now whenever I click on this, I will be getting the result. And also whenever I hover on images, I will be getting the dish name. So why we are using this join method? This join method will be returning array as a string, and we are just separating using this double quotes, and we are not separating any data by comma or any other separator. It is just going to return array as a string. And also using this join method, we are not changing our original array. And also using this join method, we are not changing our array. So do not get confused why we have used. If we do not use this join method, every data will be separated by comma and we will not be getting a required result. Now, last thing we are left is once the data is fetched, we just want to clear the input field. Now, below this, I will be writing one comment, clear input field. Below this, I will be writing my input field dot value is equal to, I'm just going to write empty string. Save this. I will search for pizza. As soon as I click on search, you can see the input field value is cleared. If I just write some random data, I will get this, oops, no result for meals, this one. Whatever error messages you want, you can easily give your custom error messages. So we'll just revise whatever we have done. We are just fetching the API and we are passing our item name. That is whatever value I have entered inside the input field. Basically our meal name we are passing here. Then using this then method, whatever response we are having, we are converting into object. And using this another then method, we are just getting all the data. Once we are able to get the data from the API, we are displaying this search. If the data is not there, we are displaying this error message. If the data is present inside a diff container, we are looping through all the data which is matched and we are using this map method. We have just passed meal parameter which will be holding the current value. First time, if I am having 1, 2, 3, 4, first time the value of meal will be 1, it is going to loop. Second time the value of meal will be 2, third time 3 and fourth time 4 and it keeps on going. So similarly, if I am having multiple data, first time the value will be the first data. All this data will be displayed for first match. Second time, second data. So the data will be displayed for second meal and it keeps on going. And we are using this join method to return this entire array as a string. And finally, we are just emptying our input field. Whatever previous search we have done, we are just removing that and we are making our input field as empty. So you should know how to fetch the data from the API and how to display that data. So once you are comfortable with that, then only move on to the next video. Until and unless you don't understand this, how to fetch data from the API, do not move further because you are going to mess with your code and you will not be writing the proper code. So that's all for this session. Next session, we are going to add some more functionalities. Finding the random meal. When we click on any meal, we have to get the information of that particular meal. We are going to see some more features.